are you here? Are you here to say you made it past day one?
That tastes like the end of day one.
Are you here to say you made the money? Or are you here to become the next World Series of Poker main event champion?
Yeah, I win it. You know who wins the main event, whether you like poker or not, and that's why it's the one event that I want to win more than any other.
You really have to play good every single day, every hour, every hand for 8 days straight.
Can I make it happen? One time?
Tonight, we find out who is here to play. Welcome back to our coverage of the World Series of Poker main event presented by Jack Link's Beef Jerky. The money bubble has burst here on day 4, so now pros and amateurs alike must set loftier goals. Pro Eric Lindgren just secured his first main event cash.
Another monkey off his back lawn. This guy travels with a lot of monkeys.
Daniel Negreanu's short stack needs some immediate attention.
Short stack medic to table 17. Short stack medic to table 17.
2010 November 9er Joe Chong can still make back-to-back final tables.
I don't think so.
Ben Lamb's day 4 is going as planned.
If it's going as planned, why does he take off his jacket and stay a while?
And there is your chip leader, 23-year-old Daryl Jace.
Perk up, son. It's beautiful here at the Rio, and you're on top of the heap.
Jace leads a field that, as it shrinks, makes chip millionaires quite rapidly. 51-year-old Little Rock native Sam Barnhart in third. Young German pro Payus Hines is making some noise, and Lamb sits in 5th place right now. The current payout, just over $19,000. Let's get to the outer tables where pro Jean-Robert Bolland is all in for his last 13 big blinds with Queen 4 of spades, trying to avoid being knocked out by Scott Shelley's Ace-Jack. Here's the flop, and Queen's up for Bolland.
Bolland gets lucky.
What kind of what?
Shelley, a 2010 bracelet winner.
Turn card, 5 of clubs.
Can I get excited yet? Oh.
Not yet. Shelley just picked up a wheel draw.
Jean-Robert has celebrated prematurely before.
The river card now, 10 of hearts. And with an excellent flop, Jean-Robert will double up.
See, Jean-Robert, you don't always run bad.
No, you made a good call.
Only sometimes. I'm paying 20 big for playing this.
Jean-Robert will hang around.
Pardon me? Hey. Nice one that holds up. Nice one that wins. What am I saying? Holds up. I got lucky. I had the 3/4.
With so much on the line at this main event, it's always interesting to see which players want to win and which players need to win. Wanting to win can make you over-aggressive. Needing to win can tighten you up. Norman, of the remaining field, who are you keeping your eye on?
I watched 2 players closely at this event, Phil Ivey and Patrick Antonius. One didn't play and the other busted on day 3, which means I have to focus elsewhere, and so now I will gaze upon Ben Lamb, Daniel Negreanu, and Jean-Robert Bolland. Lamb feels like the next big thing. Negreanu, win or lose, is endlessly entertaining, and Bolland is oddly fascinating. I always feel like I'm rubbernecking when I'm watching him.
Well, no crash and burn yet for Bolland, who finished in 78th place at the main event last year, but he has little room for error. Over to our secondary table, the top stack here in 3rd overall is Sam Barnhart.
He's got 3 looks, sometimes glasses on, sometimes shades on, sometimes all natural.
Patrick Poirier was the leader at the start of the day. He's lost almost $1 million.
He keeps sending his chips into the middle on day 4, and they don't come back.
And the Frenchman with the pink hair, Guillaume Darcourt, with almost $500,000.
He has his own production company that does TV commercials.
Action on Alex Camberis on the Jack Link's Beef Jerky Hole Cam. 9-7 into the muck.
Very small jumps in payout right now, Lon. So if you have designs on winning this main event, this is a good time to gamble.
Action on Eric Ladney, 23-year-old with ace-king off.
Unfortunately, wearing a New York baseball cap.
And he's going to raise it up to 14,000.
You know, we played around with my 3-blind proposal recently at Hollywood Park. Small blind, big blind, super blind, more blinds, more action, more fun.
Folded to Stuart Tuvey with pocket 4s, 22-year-old from the San Francisco Bay Area.
3 blinds, it's the future.
And a re-raise from Tuvey to 36,000. All right, now folded 2. Sam Barnhart with pocket queens in the small blind.
Or if you don't have small blind, big blind, super blind, you can have 2 small blinds in a big blind, but I like saying super blind.
Barnhart with 2 raises in front of him. And the queens.
Re-raise.
And there you go. He makes it 73,000.
That's an old school re-raise, a 4-bet with a real hand. Ladney is new school, and Tuvey, I think, is middle school.
Action on Ladney, known as Avril Sharapova online.
All in.
And he announces all in for 224,000 with ace-king off.
That's going to be too rich for Tuvey's blood.
Yeah, Tuvey gets out of the way. And Barnhart makes the call with his queens, and we've got a race for Ladney's tournament life.
Well, Barnhart gets what he wants. He didn't want a 3-way flop with pocket queens. It was an easy call for Sam with a big stack.
And Barnhart got a big hand. Ladney at risk.
Thank you. You got to win these races.
This is sort of the Yankees versus the Confederates 2011 edition.
All right, here we go. Ladney trailing, needs help immediately. 5-5 jack, no ace, no king. Barnhart still ahead. Ladney with 2 more streets to try to survive.
Ladney doesn't look like he's going anywhere. Maybe he knows something.
Turn card. 6 of diamonds. Ladney down to his last chance.
Ladney is going to need an ace or a king, or he is whamboozled.
The river card, the deuce of diamonds, and Ladney is indeed whamboozled. Barnhart wins it with queens up.
All right, thank you.
Sam once again the tournament leader.
Good luck, boys.
How do you do it, man? How do you do it?
And a good showing for the Penn State grad. This was his 10th career World Series cash.
Thought I was going to get some of his chips up there.
Sam adds about 270,000 new chips to his big stack. To the outer tables once again. Tony Hashem on the left just flopped a set of 3s and checked against Michael Hallen, who caught top pair with his kings. Hallen just bet 13,000. Tony, the brother of 05 world champ Joe Hashem, makes the call.
Hashem's got Hallen nailed.
Turn card now. 10 of diamonds. Hallen improves to kings up, but that's just trouble for him. Hashem checks. Hallen checks. River card, 6 of diamonds. The set is best for Hashem, and he's going to bet 25,000. Hallen raises all in. A snap call from Hashem, and that's the last we'll see of Michael Hallen.
Hang out, 365.
Hallen thought he had Hashem trapped, but will take his leave with his 6th cash of this World Series.
So a big win, a key win for Hashem, as Hallen will hit the rail. The payout's up to over 21,000 now.
Well played by Tony Hashem. He's from a world champion gene pool.
He sits with about an average stack right now. To Ben Lamb's table, Jamie Kerstetter is all in with pocket jacks. Lamb trying to knock her out with ace-king. Kerstetter's final 180,000 up for grabs.
Kerstetter, a former tax attorney from New Jersey, racing with pocket jacks.
The flop is 8-10 king. A king for Lamb to take the lead.
Why doesn't Ben Lamb pick on somebody his own stack size? Jeez.
Turn card now. Kerstetter in serious trouble. 6 of diamonds. No help to her.
Jamie Kerstetter has to have a jack.
The river card. The 10 of spades, and Lamb will win it. Kerstetter's gone.
1 woman less now in the main event field, and 1 man with a lot more chips.
So Lamb, a newly minted bracelet winner at this summer's World Series, increases his stack by 20%. Once again, he's running like Ben Lamb at this World Series of Poker. Welcome back to the World Series of Poker main event, day 4. 584 players remain, with the average stack up to almost 353,000. Let's get back to Jean-Robert Balland's table. He raised with ace-9 of hearts. He was 3-bet by Frank Sermonara, and presto, his pocket 5s. Balland's stack is less than half that the size of his opponent.
Sermonara, a 60-year-old businessman from Kenosha, Wisconsin, one of my favorite places, home of the Longaberger Basket Fest.
Oh, and their office looks like a Longaberger basket. It's an amazing thing to see. All right, here we go to the flop. Balland and Sermonara. 6 queen 9. Balland catches a piece of that.
Kenosha's also got the Dinosaur Museum. You and I may be in there one day, Lon.
Sermonara's pocket 5's now second best, but he does bet 50,000. Balland leads with a pair of 9s, and he makes the call.
Balland in position, can control the size of the pot.
Turn card now. Jack of hearts. Balland still ahead.
When I cashed this year, Lon, I focused on pot size, pot control, pot management.
You only played in limit events.
Why do you always rain on my parade?
Check, check to the river. Another 9. Jean Robert Rivers trips. Action on Sermonara now. His 9s and 5s have no shot unless he bets, but he does check.
This is the second straight main event cash for Belland, former pool player, nightclub promoter, restaurant owner, Survivor contestant. Right now, giving us a little Hollywood.
Yeah.
Unsure what to do with his trip 9s.
I'm sure he's got his SAG card already. He's putting it to good use. Now he's cutting out some chips, 80,000 worth.
Well, Jean Robert here going with the hard count, trying to draw Sermonara offsides. Jean Robert loves the camera.
Well, Belland, well, he's the one, I think, who should be penalized.
That's got to be a legal procedure, no?
84,000.
Belland with a bet of 84,000 finally.
Finally.
Now, what does Sermonara think of all that theater? And he raises Jean Robert all in.
Wow. I didn't expect that. The check raise puts Belland all in and puts him to the test.
No snap call from Jean Robert.
If I call you and I'm right, I'm a contender. If I fold.
If he folds, he's left with 15 big blinds. He's getting 5-1 on his money here. If Jean Robert calls, he'll have 90 big blinds.
It's a hell of a play if you bluff me. It's a hell of a play if you have it.
And of course, this is for all of Belland's chips. It's a tough spot. If he's wrong, he's gone.
Can I make that play with 8,000?
There is always drama at Belland's table.
You deserve it, buddy. Play call. Call.
Belland makes the call all in.
Good call.
No, you.
Huh? You said good call?
I said you made a hell of a good call. Yeah, you made a hell of a call.
And Belland knows he's doubled up.
Good call.
That you went 4 down this running.
It doesn't matter. It's a hell of a play either way. That's a hell of a play, brother. Seriously, man. Hell of a play.
Now give me your
Tell you
chips.
what, man. Give me some big balls. You're going to see a lot from me for sure.
Wow.
You know, at the end of many Jean Robert Belland hands, it feels like we've all walked through a car wash.
Quite a gut check there for Belland. Sermonara loses a big chunk of his stack down to 475. Belland up to over $500,000.
Well, boys, the bad news is I got chips. Put on your seatbelts. Put on your seatbelts. It's time to play poker.
Well, Norman, Jean Robert's got some talking chips.
Go figure.
At the secondary table, Belgian amateur Frieden Molders is all in pre-flop with Queen Jack. Patrick Poirier called with pocket trays. Molders all in for his last 87,000.
Molders, the 26-year-old IT consultant, was down to under 15 big blinds.
Poirier down to 300,000, hoping something goes right for him. The flop 8 trays 7, and there's a set for Patrick.
You see, Poirier always assumes the position, even when he's about to bust you. Molders is going to need runner straight.
Turn card. 4 of diamonds, and that will end it. Poirier sends Frieden Molders out the door.
Good game, man. Good game. See you guys.
Poirier finally getting back on the right track as he knocks out Molders, who will take home over $21,000.
21 grand should buy him a new outfit.
On the grind.
Finally, a smile from the beleaguered Patrick Poirier. At an outer table, after Vanessa Russo raised pre-flop with ace-king, fellow pro David Bach shoved with aces for $233,000. Russo began the hand with about 1 million chips and is doing some serious calculations.
Russo giving it some thought. This might be a quick call for most people. To her credit, not for Vanessa.
Bach sitting stone-faced with his aces.
One of Run DMC's best songs was It's Tricky, which just about summarizes this spot for Vanessa.
How do you know that?
I call.
And she makes the call. Bach at risk, but way ahead with the aces.
I almost folded, dude. I almost folded. Like,
You almost folded
I
ace
believed you.
king? Wow, you're sick.
No, I believed him. I
snap
knew that man.
Ace King almost hit the muck.
90.
You just got slow rolled.
David Bach about to double up into a nice chip neighborhood.
Here's the flop. Jack 6-8, a hot, dry desert for Vanessa.
Vanessa's going to need runner.
You got a straight draw.
Bach sees the 4 of diamonds, and that means Vanessa's drawing dead, and Bach's aces gets the double up.
Nice double up.
Took so long to put the river in.
Russa's still in great shape, but she lost about a quarter of her stack there.
David Bach now up to almost $500,000. Vanessa down to 778.
Your instincts were spot on. Your instincts were spot on.
It's insane. Like, how does she?
Bach went for broke with the aces, but did not go broke. A nice battle between two talented pros. Welcome back to Las Vegas as day 4 of the World Series of Poker main event continues. Inside the Amazon room, the story of Sam Barnhart continues to blossom. He's not an internet whiz, and he wasn't turned on to poker by Chris Moneymaker's victory. Imagine that.
Sam Barnhart, 51 years old, Little Rock, Arkansas. My introduction to poker started out in the hunting club with my father and the regular hunters there. The allure of watching my father and them was the competitiveness. I mean, that was just fascinating to me. Hunting was a big part of our lives. Big part. Here is some of the guns he used, and this one here, I have killed many squirrels. It's a little 22. I've got a really diverse background because I spent 15 years in clinical research, and I've worked in several disciplines as epidemiology, prostate, breast cancer, and 5 years in cardiology. Most of the people I've worked with over the years would be absolutely shocked at my poker success. Little Rock is a place where you know your neighbors. How about that? The support is just really been great. I can't ask for any better.
Thank you. It was great to meet you.
You too.
Sam works in the field of informatics, which means I cannot have a conversation with him.
All right, and Sam Barnhart has the Jack Link's Beef Jerky wild card hand under the gun.
I got to figure him out. His hobby is astronomy. He's too smart for me.
Sam with the biggest stack at this table and in the room. Over 1.7 million with chips in hand.
All right.
And he raises to 16,000. Go at it, Norman.
Under the gun, I think he's going to dabble in the Lon McCarron Memorial hand, pocket jacks.
Wow, I pity the fool. Fold it over to Alex Camberis. 5-4 goes into the muck.
Barnhart has degrees in computer science and biology. I have a degree in American studies, which involved watching a lot of television.
Robert Tamillion, Uruguayan native, lives in Australia, lays it down to Stuart Tuvey now on the button with 2 black aces.
22-year-old from Sunnyvale, California, the Kenosha of the West. Or is it the Little Rock of the West?
He's up 150,000 on this day 4 so far. And not to steal your thunder, but this could be a short wild card hand with the aces. A re-raise to 47,000.
Well, I hope Sam doesn't have pocket jacks. He'd have a chance in this hand if he had C or D, 9-8 suited, or Queen Jack suited. Of course, Tuvey capable of 3-betting on the button with garbage, and Sam knows that.
If you're playing stakes that high, it can easily be worth
So
it.
back to Barnhart now after Tuvey just re-raised it to 47,000. And Sam's going to come along. So Tuvey's aces get a caller. He loves that.
I got Sam on pocket jacks.
All right, here's the flop. Queen, deuce, king, 2 diamonds, no jack in there. Barnhart checks.
Remember, we saw Tuvey execute a big bluff on an earlier Jack Link's wildcard hand against Fried Molders.
No bluffing from Tuvey here with the pocket aces. And he does bet about half the pot, 55,000.
Well, if Sam calls here, he definitely could have A, top pair, top kicker, or pocket jacks, or D, pair of queens with a flush draw.
He does call.
I'm leaning now towards A or D.
All right, A or D. Turn card. The 9 puts a 3rd diamond out there. Sam checks again.
If I were Tuvey, that card would scare me, Lon. Flush got there, up and down straight draw got there. but Tuvi is not me. Tuvi is a man, and I watch men for a living.
That's 95,000 from Tuvi.
If Sam had D, I think he'd beat Tuvi into the pot with a queen high flush. He could be acting, but I don't believe he's that good of an actor, so I think he's agonizing here with a decision holding A. Ace king. Wondering if Tuvi made his flush.
Sam's pretty much a Renaissance man. He could be an actor as well.
No, Little Rock's too far off Broadway.
All right.
And a check raise from Barnhart, making it 300,000.
Okay, scratch my previous thought, Lon. Actually, scratch all my previous thoughts. If Sam is check raising here on the turn, he's holding the goods. D. Queen Jack suited. He's got the diamond flush. Tuvi had fallen in love with the pocket aces, but he now knows he could be drawing dead.
Tuvi, the look of worry, and he lays the aces down. He did have the queen jack. You were finally right.
Oh, I think I guessed every card combination in the deck before I got the right one.
Barnhart with the flush wins the Jack Link's Beef Jerky wild card hand. For a pro's take on that hand, let's hear from Greg Mueller.
Tuvi, 2 aces. Barnhart, queen jack of diamonds. Both have a lot of chips. I like the way these guys play this hand. Barnhart knew he was up against a big hand, decided to play the pair and a flush draw fairly slow. Tuvi wanted the information on the awful turn card, fired pretty big, folded when he got check raised. Anytime you fold 2 aces, you're making a big fold. And in poker, when you want to survive tournaments, you have to make big folds. I like the way both these guys played their hands.
It is a big man who knows when to give up the aces. On to one pro who's been on a slippery slope during day 4. Daniel Negreanu right now is all in with ace high and a wheel draw, trying to somehow overcome the flop set of 4s held by Kenichi Takaki.
Negreanu's disappointing World Series about to end.
Turn card tray of spades. Negreanu adds a flush draw.
Daniel now has to have a spade other than the 5 or a deuce.
And the river card is a spade, and Daniel delivers the bad beat and survives. 2 other players called Daniel's all in before folding, so Daniel got a little healthier.
Quadrupled up.
Negreanu with only 12 big blinds, but hey, he's still kicking. 564 players, about 300 media, hundreds of fans. The Amazon room remains quite crowded here on day 4. To bracelet winner / newlywed / Laker fan Eric Lindgren, his pocket aces were good until Maxime Nault flopped kings full on him.
Lindgren finally won his first bracelet in 2008. This was blind versus blind.
Nault with a bet now of 52,500 after the 8 came on the turn.
Boy, Nault had flopped kings full, as you mentioned. Like we heard Greg Mueller say, it's tough to fold pocket aces. Eric is in a quandary.
Lindgren started the hand with about $500,000. Nault with about 250,000.
Like his buddy Daniel Negreanu, Lindgren has had a disappointing 2011 World Series overall, but he's trying to make his first main event cash change all that.
Eric, now with a taste of that money, would like to stick around a lot longer. And he gives up the aces.
I'll show.
And Nault shows that Eric was right.
That's got to make Lindgren feel better. Nault decides to take the jacket off to collect his chips. Frankly, I think it's more proper to keep your jacket on when dragging a pot. There you go. He's a gentleman.
Well, Eric made a friend. Always nice to have your opponent show his cards.
Yeah, show the next card for the cameras. You can. You can.
Oh, what would the next card be now? That's what they're asking.
Oh, you're not supposed to do that.
Wait, what's that over there?
Eric now goes rabbit hunting.
Just show the camera then. Just show the camera. Just show the camera. At least they're gonna know.
What would the river card have been? An ace!
That's why you shouldn't rabbit hunt, Lon. You sometimes find something you don't want to see.
Did she already burn them? No.
Yeah, you did.
I burned. Yeah, you did.
Well, Nault got quite lucky.
What was that, though? The one-sided bro hug? Not on my watch.
To the poker arena, where we have a new group seated at the feature table.
Hey, no one try to be a hero on TV. Let's just all be nice and calm. No need to go make crazy bluffs. You'll get off the feature table and then you'll have no TV time.
Nachman Berlin from Brooklyn setting the ground rules. Vanessa Russo has the biggest stack here.
Especially on my blinds, because I'm very comfortable with TV.
I'm still not comfortable with TV.
We all saw David Bach get doubled up earlier by Vanessa. He sits with just under $500,000. We look at the chip counts for this featured table. Vanessa with 834,000. Dwayne Alexander with 639. There you see Bach's total. A very tough player is the short stack at this table, Joe Surrock, with 122,000. Vanessa Russo, the chip leader at this table, will start the hand with the button. Action on Dwayne Alexander now. On the Jack Link's Beef Jerky Whole Cam Pocket Kings.
I believe that is a hand sanitizer on top of Alexander's stack. That is a statement.
A raise to 14,000 from Alexander. Kind of a don't set off any big alarms type of raise. Over to Russo with Ace King again.
How many chips do you start the hand with? What are the greens? The greens are 25?
Yeah, greens are 25,000.
So you have about like 450?
600 plus
600?
probably. Sorry, I got my orange. Let me readjust this for you.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Yeah, I'm kind of hiding.
He's got 600,000 plus the $2.99 hand
I didn't
sanitizer.
stack these chips. They did it.
Vanessa seems taken by that hand sanitizer. If she busts it, Milan, I believe she gets it.
I wonder if that will go in the pot. Yeah. Vanessa, known as Lady Maverick.
Well, she's got an Ace King at inopportune times today.
I raise.
From the button, she announces raise.
Alexander, a 31-year-old pro from San Antonio.
Vanessa makes it 40,000. Small blind folds. Big blind releases his hand. Now action back to Alexander.
I guess you got me.
She's got him covered by about 200,000 chips.
He's asking the dealer to pull in her raise to see how much she has behind.
Well, tough sledding for Russo. We saw her Ace King run into David Bach's pocket aces. Now her Ace King runs into Dwayne Alexander's pocket kings.
And the Kings aren't going anywhere, but just a call. So heads up, Vanessa Russo way behind, and that's a very good flop for the Kings of Alexander, and he checks to Vanessa.
Vanessa was valedictorian in high school, graduated Duke in 2.5 years. She was day trading in college. I was oversleeping 11 a.m. classes in college, Lon.
Vanessa cutting out some more chips. 60,000 is the bet.
That's the bet. 60,000.
Alexander loves to see that.
Raise.
Those are the calling chips. He just announced a raise, though.
Well, how much is he going to raise, Lon?
Let's find out. The raise is 150 for a total of 210.
Well, back in the day, you bluff with a continuation bet on the flop. You get raised, you simply fold. This is a different day. Let's see what Russo wants to do against Alexander.
Alexander does not want to lose her as a customer.
Huh, I don't believe you. But
She says she didn't believe him, but she makes the right fold.
And Alexander will take that pot from Vanessa Russo, whose Ace King comes up short once again. And Alexander shows his kings.
Well, now Vanessa believes him.
Good fold by Vanessa Russo.
Right there.
nice hand, nice hand.
Here. Free information. I'm not always bluffing.
I wasn't either. It was just like,
If Vanessa keeps running into kings and aces, it's going to be a very unsatisfying day 4 for this pro.
I'm not always bluffing.
Welcome back to the Rio 2008 November Niner. Dennis Phillips has been knocked out.
Gotta win your races.
And 0-2 champ Robert Varconi becomes the last main event champion eliminated. No victory, but a kiss from his wife, Olga.
Nice guys don't always finish first.
Here on day 4, the cream of this year's crop at the main event beginning to rise to the top. Sam Barnhart is once again the chip leader. The field quickly nearing the 500 player mark. The Granu and Belland, as we've seen, lucky to still be in the hunt. 14 women began day 4 in the main event. 9 remain. One of those remaining women is Vanessa Russo. When she's not playing poker, she's trying out a brand new hobby, golf.
back in college when I was at Duke, I got really into Tiger Woods golf. I learned a lot about the theory of golf. Once I was done with law school, found myself playing poker where I'm always inside and really wanting to find a way to spend more time outside. So I went out and started taking lessons and getting into it, going to the driving range, playing with all my different friends, anyone who would take the time to teach me a thing or two. And it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy it, and especially enjoy getting to spend time outside.
Vanessa's always mixing it up. She took flying lessons when she was in law school. She did a photo shoot for Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue, and she was a celebrity judge on Bank of Hollywood on E!
And don't forget, she's a skydiver as well. She loves to have fun. Joe Surrock with 10-9 of clubs and a raise to 13,000. 4 deuce for Nachman Berlin into the muck. Vanessa with pocket sixes.
Vanessa recommends The Art of War by Sun Tzu. When you're reading the book, she says you'll learn game theory by taking the word war and replacing it with tournament poker. Seems to me it'll take a lot longer to read the book that way.
Vanessa made the call of 13,000. This is her first cash of the World Series this year. Folded over to Alexander, who's texting, and so he'll fold. David Bach with Queen Jack of Hearts.
His nickname is Gunslinger. He bought the hat playing in the Aussie Millions one year.
And from the big blind, he will call for 7,000 more.
I wonder if The Art of War is available on books on tape.
3 players to flop. 6, 10, 9. What a flop. Russo hits a set to lead, but Bach is open-ended, and he checks. Surrock hits top 2 pair.
Surrock, 23-year-old Las Vegas pro, 13 World Series cashes. Twice he's finished runner-up in World Series events. He's getting low on chips here.
Almost $1 million in live earnings for Surrock. He bets 25,000. Now to Vanessa with her set of sixes.
Raise.
And a min raise to 50,000. To Bach now.
David Bach with the draw, with a bet and a raise in front of him. This is his 17th World Series cash, and he made 2 final tables this year alone.
David Bach taking a lot of time with this decision.
Bach says his strength is getting inside people's heads. Don't know what's inside his head at this moment.
All in.
He says all in.
Wow.
That's 442,000 back to Surrock, who flopped 10s and 9s.
Yeah, what do you do when you lead out with top 2 pair, then it's raised and re-raised all in behind you, and this decision is for your remaining chips?
He's the short stack at this table with just 113,000 behind.
You know, it's possible Russo raised with a big pocket pair and Bach re-raise with exactly what he has, a draw. So your 10s and 9s could be good here, but this is for his main event. Of course, he'd be left with less than 20 big blinds if he folds here, but it's hard to imagine Joe Surrock feels real good about his hand right now.
He folds.
I don't think I can fold this. Like, worst case scenario, I guess I'm 32%. Worst case. I mean, if you flop the nuts, I mean, I guess that makes sense. But I think you would do that with 9s and 10s. I think. I'm allowed to talk to myself, right? Am I allowed to talk to myself? I don't know. I don't want to be breaking any rules.
Just don't answer yourself.
You're allowed to talk.
You're all right.
A huge moment for Vanessa.
Yeah, you're Vanessa, so you can talk.
You can ask, you just can't ask.
I mean, I gotta think that it's gonna re-raise 9s or 10s pre-flop. It's not set over set. 7-8 makes sense, but I mean, I'm 40%, 32, 35.
392. 392.
If she puts him on a straight, she actually would not be getting quite the right price to call. And of course, if she puts him on a bigger set, she's pretty much dead. But those are the only hands that beat Vanessa.
You just always got me, right? Like the ace king to the aces. I just have a sicko feeling about this. Oh, 392. So sick. 100.
What a move here by David Bach. If she calls, his main event is in immediate peril. Vanessa would have to call off more than half her remaining stack here.
Vanessa with bottom set. Bach just on a draw.
I have to call.
And she does make the call to put Bach at risk. And Bach needs help.
I was hoping you didn't have a set.
Good call, and the affable Bach in deep trouble. Vanessa Russo took her time and made the right call.
She does not look very comfortable with 2 cards to come. Bach on the draw for his tournament life. The turn card, and Bach wastes little time in hitting his straight. Vanessa is crushed.
That is so sick.
Russo now needs to board the pair as long as it's not the 9 of hearts, which would give Bach a straight flush to knock him out.
The river card. The 2 of spades seals the double up for Bach, who's on the uptick again with almost $1 million.
Absolutely. Great call. Great call, Vanessa.
Tough blow for Russo. Joe Surrock made the right decision, Vanessa Russo made the right decision, and David Bach made himself a nice chip stack.
As you can see, for the folks at home, running really well today. Wow. Gosh,
Vanessa struggled so with her decision, figured she was ahead, but was run down on the turn.
Why?
What can you do? You played it fine.
I don't know why. Oh, well.
I had 10-9. I would have been out. Top 2.
Yeah, you gotta get in. Yeah. Top 2. Yeah, you got.
Bach takes ownership of another healthy chunk of Vanessa Russo's chip stack. He is now the big dog at this table. Vanessa Russo below 300,000, which is plenty to work with right now, but oh, what could have been.
Please.
I'm all in.
But I just have a sicko feeling about this. I have to call. Why?
It was a good day for Blue Devils at the World Series of Poker when two Duke grads won bracelets back-to-back in a $1,500 no-limit hold'em event. Rising tournament star Andy Frankenberger was number 1.
This is my first major cash in 2011. It just feels that much better to actually get here.
While fellow alumnus Chris Lee took down the $2,500 six-handed 10-game mix event.
It's actually my first cash of the summer, so it was all the run bad of the early in the summer, I guess, paid off for this tournament, so I'm really happy.
Duke usually gets all the calls. I assume that's how those guys won their bracelets. Vanessa also went to Duke, and she made the right call on David Bach, but it didn't work out.
She does need some of that Duke run good right now. David Bach has the run good pocket aces and a raise to 15,000.
Vanessa says her biggest problem in poker is controlling her emotions, particularly when losing a hand. That last one is going to be tough to shake off.
Nachman Berlin toying with 5 deuce of clubs, but he gives it up finally. Vanessa with Queen Jack offsuit, and she will make the call.
Boy, and she's up against Bach's pocket aces for the second time here on day 4.
All right, so these two will see a flop. 5 Jack 6, top pair for Vanessa, but that pales next to Bach's aces.
Top pair is trouble.
Russo checked it to David. And Bach bets 25,000.
Flop and top pair is very dangerous here for Vanessa Russo.
Vanessa started the hand with under 300,000. She makes the call here. More than a 3-to-1 underdog is Vanessa. Turn card 9 of spades. No improvement to Russo. And she checks again.
Bach in commanding position with pocket aces. He might think he's up against a draw, but he's in even better shape than that.
Bach bets 55,000 this time.
And it's possible Russo puts David Bach on a draw. He has tormented her of late.
David Bach striking that Sphinx pose. Vanessa Russo trying to figure him out.
Raise.
And announces a raise.
There's the 55, and I make it. 55 more.
There you hear it. 55 more, back to Bach.
Curious min raise there from Vanessa Russo. If Bach were on a draw, he'd be getting great pot odds right now to chase it.
Bach has Vanessa on the hook.
How much does that leave behind?
About 120.
129.
Yeah, 130.
Oh, 130.
And if Vanessa were to fold here to any re-raise, she'd be left with about 21 big blinds.
With the aces.
I'm all in.
He's going for it all.
I call.
And she calls all in with limited outs.
Wow. All right, you got my number, like in the worst way ever.
Vanessa now in dire straits.
One time. I may never be on TV again.
Hey, enjoy it, boss.
David Bach in position to take the last of Vanessa Russo's chips.
Russo has to have a queen or a jack.
The river card, the 8 of spades, and Vanessa Russo's main event, which looked quite promising just a short time ago, is over.
It was an honor to play with you, Vanessa.
Lady Maverick done in by Gunslinger.
She had been so disciplined in her play, but after the bad beat at the hands of David Bach, she overplays her queen jack, and bang, bang, her main event is over.
You can see the disbelief in Vanessa's eyes. David Bach up to $1.2 million.
Took all my... That's all I wanted to do.
I hurt a little bit. My heart hurts.
How could she not be crushed after that devastating sequence of salvos in quick succession? A deep run truly not in the cards for Vanessa Russo. Welcome back to the main event. That's the seat that used to belong to Vanessa Russo, but she was just knocked out. She is now with Kara Scott.
Things can happen quickly in No Limit Hold'em, of course. How do you brush this off and kind of move forward with the next tournament, Vanessa?
Well, I mean, being a poker player, I've definitely taken beats, I guess, like this before, not with quite so much on the line. So that part sucks. I mean, yeah, I'll probably agonize over my decisions for the next couple weeks and, you know, see if I can learn anything from the situation. But yeah, it's sort of difficult, you know. But in an event with 8,000 players, you got to think that you have to not only make good decisions, but you have to also not get unlucky. And so I guess it was just David's day to get all my chips.
Well, thank you so much for coming back and talking to us.
Yeah.
Bach healthy again thanks to Vanessa, but you can never let your guard down in a no-limit game, as Kara alluded to. At an outer table, Ben Lamb poised to crush another main event dream. His pocket tens leading the ace tray of Ukrainian Anton Makievsky.
Makievsky all in with ace rag with 50 big blinds left, and Ben Lamb about to hand him his exit visa.
All right, here is the flop, and it is tray 4, playing ace small. Sometimes can work.
Makievsky apparently does not get stoked unless he sees quads or better.
Turn card now is a 4, pairs the board a boat for Anton, but that doubles Ben's minimal outs.
And Lamb figures, I'm running so good, it's like a coin flip for me now. I'll get the 4 or the 10 on the river to knock this guy out.
The river card, the 5 of clubs, and that secures the double up for Makievsky.
Well, we have found out the formula to beat Ben Lamb. Go all in as more than a 2-to-1 dog in flop trips.
Well, Anton is happy despite how he looks right now. He's had a very good day 4, especially after sucking out on Ben Lamb. All right, let's go to the secondary table once again, which is occupied by tournament chip leader Sam Barnhart with almost 2 million chips.
Yeah, what a great story the Little Rock amateur is weaving.
He's sitting in the small blind action right now on Alex Camberis. Alex hasn't been able to get much going on the Jackling Speed Jerky hole cam. Jack 8 into the muck. Patrick Poirier with Queen 8 of diamonds.
Poirier, the Ben Lamb of Tupper Lake, New York. He's my guy.
He flew so high as the chip leader. Right now, Poirier just one of the pack. He raised it up to 13,000.
By the way, congratulations to 3-time bracelet winner Miami John Cernudo, his first main event cash ever in 15 tries. And congratulations to Dennis Phillips, who we saw earlier, his third main event cash in 4 years. Remember, he used to be an amateur. Lon, you and I are still amateurs in every pursuit there is.
Isn't that true? Folded to Johan Zowie, who calls 13,000 with ace 9 off. Now to Guillaume Darcourt on the button with pocket 5s. He also calls.
Back to Vanessa Russo for a second. The way she went out, it's so tough to shake off, Lon. It's the main event. She takes that bad beat to David Bach. She's going to win that hand 7 out of 10 times. And if she wins it, who knows how deep she goes. Who knows when you get into that position again?
3-way coin flip right now. Darcourt is best with the pocket 5s. Here is the flop. And it is 5 ace deuce. Darcourt flops a set. Poirier comes up empty. Action on him.
He's going to aggravate his poker elbow.
Drawing dead. With chips in hand, 24,000 to Zowie now. Top pair is worth 2% right now.
The ex-boxer, though, getting low stacked here. Flopping top pair. He's got to be thinking about pushing.
Morning.
And that's what he does for his last 138,000. Now Darcourt.
All right, what Darcourt is going to give us a little Gerard Depardieu here?
Poirier still to act after him.
How could I fold that? I can't fold that. I mean, if I fold that, it would be a huge hero fold.
I think Darcourt is trying to induce Poirier to call behind him.
I don't say nothing.
A performance for one man.
I'm not famous for hero fold.
Just a call. Poirier can't play, though. So heads up, Zowie at risk.
An easy fold for Poirier. No Oscar nomination for Darcourt.
Guillaume tried to hook Patrick, but Poirier was having none of it.
Not even supposed to talk like that.
And the former boxer now down and almost out.
2 cards to come for Zowie to try and stay alive. Turn card. Another ace, and Zowie is rallying with 1 round to go.
Zowie gets up from the floor, throws a haymaker, and now he's looking for an ace, 9, or deuce to stick around.
The river card, the Queen of Hearts, and Zowie's main event is over.
At least when you get knocked out in poker, your head's not on the ground.
And Zowie knows it hurts a lot less to get knocked out at the main event. So one Frenchman knocks off another.
And the pink-haired guy's got some chips.
Johan Zowie will hit the rail. He earns almost $24,000 for his main event experience. Darkour now over $1 million. He may keep his hair pink for every tournament he plays in.
Well, boys, bad news is I got chips.
If there's a lesson to be learned from tonight's Day 4 action,
put on your seatbelts.
There's no such thing as comfort at the main event.
Why? I don't know why. I hurt a little bit. My heart hurts.
And while 1 star faded, 2 stayed in the hunt. Whoa! Under the radar, a 51-year-old from Little Rock is making big noise in Las Vegas.
I had to be. You know that.
Yeah.
For Norman, Chad, and Kara Scott, I'm Lon McCarron. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.